Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our Football Manager 23 beta save with Manchester City. Things have been going well still. Now we have a hiccup in the process, and we have dropped down to second. But we've got a game in hand. We're still fine. Nothing to worry about. Don't worry yourself too much. And we've also signed a player who is very exciting and lost a couple of players which aren't anything to worry about. So let's quickly jump into how things have gone in the season as up to this point, and then we'll take a look at the transfers. We followed up the great win against Liverpool with a 1-0 win against Crystal Palace. An easy victory in the end, and it was Erling Haaland who got that goal. An almost identical game followed with a 1-0 win against Tottenham. Haaland again getting the goal. This time we made it a little bit harder for ourselves with John Stones getting sent off just before half-time. We made it a little hard for ourselves in the reverse fixture of today's game against Stoke. We did, though, get a 3-2 victory in the end, and it was a good result. We then had a lovely 2-0 win against West Ham. Haaland getting 2 in this one, and they didn't have a single shot the entire game. Really comfortable. We're still in the FA Cup with a 4-0 win against Aston Villa in that one. Of course, Haaland was on the score sheet as he always is, but he was also turned provider with Giovanni Reina's goal. I was glad I didn't bring you the Manchester derby this time round, as it was a 2-1 loss. Little bump in the road, but nothing too much to worry about. We did take the lead through Bernardo Silva, but in the end they came back with 2 goals. We then had a fantastic game against Wolves. It was a 3-2 win in the end, but we certainly made it hard. It was a mistake by Walker through the slide tackle that gave them the initial lead at 1-0 up. They then got a second. It was an Ederson own goal, in fact, from a free kick, and from a header off a free kick. But we did in the second half turn things around. They got a little bit of a bollocking, but they reacted well. Bernardo Silva was lay it off to his namesake Antonio Silva for the first goal for the comeback. That was just after half-time, so a great time to score. Then we got a second not long after that, only 4 minutes later, with Kyle Walker almost making an amends with a pass to Moukoko, who found Haaland. That levelled it up. And then finally, we left it a little late, but it all counts. And it was a third goal. This time, it was Bellingham finding Sheldrop with a lovely little ball through. He finished beautifully in the bottom corner for 3-2. And finally, the last game before today, it was Chelsea. A 3-1 win, a well-deserved victory as well. And it was Haaland, of course, with the first goal in that game. So there you go. It's gone well again. A little bit of a shame for that blip against United, 2-1. It was 2 mistakes, really, that cost us the goals. So I will show you those, because it's infuriating when you see them. 2 things that could have just been dealt with. They weren't, and it led to a goal. The first one was a mistake by Antonio Silva. I mean, Camavinga didn't really do anything in there, but ball over the top. Silva gets there, but then for some reason controls it straight into Rashford's pass, who just comes in, nicks it off him, puts it away. And then the last one, which was Anthony's goal, after which the game just went dead. But a delivery into the box, it kind of loops up in the air, and I don't know what Rodri's doing, but he heads it backwards. And then Anthony just tucks it in. So 2 mistakes that cost us that game, which is frustrating, but it's okay. It means we're playing really well otherwise. We're not conceding many, and when we do, it's kind of a bit of a flurry, and then we take control of the game again. So things are still looking absolutely fine on that front. I'm still feeling really confident. We've got Lazio coming up in the Champions League. We've got Blackpool in the FA Cup next round, which hopefully should be a win there, as well, as they're quite low in the Championship again. But it is Stoke today. We had a bit of a tough game against them last time. 3-2 in that one. Oh, of course, you want to know who the transfers are. Let's quickly take a look. Oh, it's Endrick. Yeah. If I'm going to get him in any save, it's going to be this one, isn't it? We might as well see if he's any good and if he actually works out. I've been trying to get him since the start of the game, but he just doesn't want to leave Palmeiras until at least now, which he's decided to do. It was 5 million up front, and then I think there's 15 million on add-ons or something, but he's going to be very good. He'll be fighting with Moukoko, I think, for that right-hand side until Haaland ends up deciding he wants to go for whatever reason. Riyad Mahrez has been listed. He's looking at leaving at the end of his contract. Roma did come in for him. I wanted 5 million, I think it was, and they just didn't want to give me it at the end of the loan. So I was like, okay, well, don't bother then. And they did also reduce our transfer budget from 90 million to 30. I think that's because the finances aren't great. So there you go. But with that said, this is the lineup we're going for today. It's a 4-3-3, of course. It's what we're playing, and it's what we've been fantastic with. Ederson in goal, João Cancelo, Antonio Silva, Ruben Diaz, and Luca Netz at the back. Rodri just in front. We've got Jack Grealish sitting in that centre midfield Mazzala role today. He's developed quite nicely in that role, and I think he can play that perfectly fine. I mean, you look at his stats, their attributes, and it certainly looks great. Dribbling 16, technique 16, vision 16, flair 16, first touch, passing as well. I mean, he's got all the attributes for that. So, yeah. No, I said that right that time. Attributes, not stats. I do that all the time. Yeah, and then we've got Jude Bellingham next to him. Phil Foden has come back from injury now, which is great. He's starting to get back in the side again. He's not been fantastic since coming back, so hopefully today he'll get in a bit more of a swing of things. Giovanni Reina has been very good. I have to say, we haven't been playing him centrally because on the left, he's just been banging in goals, banging assists. He's been very, very good for us. And then up front, of course, the man himself. Nothing more to say about that. And a good strong bench as well. Desire Doué is one player that we're trying to breed into the squad a little bit more and more as time goes on. He's played 8 times for us in the league this season through kind of subs and a couple of starts as well. So hopefully he'll get better and better as time goes on. But let's jump into the game against Stoke. Should be a victory. But how good of a victory? How good are we going to be? That's the real question. I'm hoping, because we're at home, a dominant one. And I think instantly I'm going to go up to attacking because we should completely dominate the ball. Giovanni Reina with a delivery to Antonio Silva. And it's 1-0. First 2 minutes in. It's a good start. We might just be bringing you goals this game. João Cancelo has already picked up a bit of a knock by the looks of things as we work this round to the left-hand side. Jude Bellingham, not a great pass there, but does end up at Giovanni Reina's feet. Rodri looking out wide to Giovanni, but again, it is cut out. Net's doing well to keep that in as it's headed away. And we're looking to drive forward again. But once again, doesn't quite come to us. But once again, we get the ball back. João Cancelo again. I'm going to say again. Foden. Brilliant ball and a great touch. Ball in. Haaland. Can he lay it off? He does to Netz. Can he get a shot away? He does. There you go. That's his first goal of the season. He's deserved that. He's been very good this year. Last season, bit of bedding in. Took a little bit of time for him to get his kind of boots ready and in the right place. But he absolutely has performed now. I think we're just going to take João Cancelo off. There's no point in being injured on if we've got Walker on the bench. And we can make 5 subs anyway. So, and we're 2-0 up in the first 10 minutes. I think we're going to be all right. So Carl Walker's on for João Cancelo, but staying the same as we were. Ederson looking out wide to Netz. He's going to look to make a move. Ruben Diaz. Are we going to get a goal again on this third highlight? I'd be surprised if we did, but you never know. If we're performing pretty well. Jude Bellingham across to Grealish. He's got a few options in front of him. Played in Haaland, he's through already. He's got to finish that. And he does. It's 3-0 in 11 minutes. I think this one's going to be a little easier than the last time we played Stoke. I'm going to have to keep commentating because the ball's come in from a free kick. Haaland's header. It was a difficult one. So to be fair to him, he did well to even get to it, let alone get it on target. But Busic is going to look long. Netz will get the header on that. And it will come into Ozdoev. Awoni isn't quite able to get it as Bellingham finds Haaland. He'll look around the corner to Phil Foden. He looks to play it through to Reina, who just can't quite get there as they're Stoking going to reset and look long once again. But, I mean, Netz is, again, there, again. I'm just saying again constantly because they just can't keep hold of the ball. We keep getting that back and we keep going forward. Netz looks round the corner to Haaland and it's a 4th in 20 minutes. It's a lovely ball round the corner, isn't it? Netz, he knows where Haaland's going to be. He's always going to be in between those sticks. It's exactly what we want him to do. The poacher style. Just be in the right place at the right time, and that's where he needs to be. Nets takes a few yards. He knows he's going to be running, and he finds him brilliantly. It's a great touch and a great finish. So this highlight actually started as a Stoke attack, and a long ball forward fell to Haaland, who nodded it down for Giovanni Reina, who just ran through. I mean, I wasn't expected to have to say anything at that point. I thought, oh, this one will be the first highlight where there's no goal. Turns out I was wrong. We've got a goal every 4 minutes so far. Haaland, a great win in the air, and he just nods it down to Reina, who takes it round the defender. He's through on goal. Puts it bottom right-hand corner. This is an absolute whitewash at the moment. Can we get the... Oh, no, I can't. I can't get the table up quick enough to see how they are actually doing in the league. Because we know they're bottom, or were bottom at least. I can't imagine they're going to be any further up the table after this. As the ball comes in, Reina wins that header. It's a poor kick by the keeper. They're looking all over the shop. Net's looking on that overlap, though. He wants to get his second. I think this might be the first highlight we haven't got a goal. Is this the first highlight we haven't got a goal from? Yes, it is. Well done, boys. I'm proud of you. I don't know how, but I am proud. League table got that in. Yeah, Stoke, bottom of the table, 13 points from 24 games. They're not looking likely. I mean, that was basically us as Palace in the last beta save, so can't say too much. Grealish with the goal from a free kick. It's only his second goal of the season. He's had limited game time this year, purely because Camavinga's come in. He's been phenomenal. And also, I mean, Bellingham has been great. Bernardo Silva's played centrally. And out wide, we've got Kivy. We've got the likes of Sheldrop, Mukoko, who's playing on the right now. So Grealish has been limited. But when he does get the chance, he does make stuff happen. And he continues in that form. I mean, this looks identical to the effort Nets had earlier on. But this time, Haaland shoots over for that one as Reina won the header just the same as before. And Grealish will take this corner. Can we get a goal from the near post? Antonio Silva goes in for it. Not quite. Looking for his second goal of the game. So we've reached half-time. Giovanni Reina actually has the knock. So we're just going to take him off because there's no point him being on the pitch. Sheldrop can come on. Do we leave Erling on for a few minutes just to see if he can get his hat-trick? We've got to, haven't we? I can't take him off until we've given him a bit of a chance. But we will take him off because there's no point in being on the pitch. We don't want him to get injured or anything silly like that. This is our extra game as well. I didn't realise that. So that's quite nice to get a bit of a goal difference. Oh, Jack Grealish is injured. We're picking up a few injuries today. But it's perfect timing for Doué to come on to make something happen in there and see if he can influence the game for the final half hour or so. And I think we'll have a look at bringing Haaland off now as we've kind of dropped off the ball a little bit. Erling, come off. We'll pop Zlatan on. Why not? Get Zlatan on the pitch and we'll leave it at that for now because if anyone's injured, there's no point us going down to 11 men, 10 men. We are on 11. Honestly, we're not cheating. We've not just bought an extra player position on the pitch. Which would be interesting if they implemented that, because I don't think that would be very fair at all. It's a bit of a stupid idea, really. I don't even know why I'm even saying it. What kind of thought process is that? You'd be able to buy an extra, like in the draft, you can buy a position in the draft, but this, you can literally buy an extra player to be put on the pitch. Ibrahimovic with the goal there. Is that offside, though? It looked like it might have been. I'll have to see if he can get his third goal of the season, second goal of the season, something like that. In this one. Is it offside? No, it counts. That's number 7 of the goals. Oh, it's his 6th goal of the season. He scored a few more than I thought he had. That's quite good. Sheldrop, though, drills it across, and Zlatan's there. He knows what to do. He knows where to stand, and he certainly did to put that one away. It's going to be a comfortable victory, a fantastic win, 7-0. Plenty of goals for you to see today. A few injury worries, though. Cancelo, Reina, and Grealish all coming off with a little bit of a knock. Grealish a bit more serious maybe, which isn't fantastic as we go into the latter stages of the season, but 7-0 win, you can't be complaining about that. And we've obviously, the only issues, we've got the Champions League coming up, and with a few injuries out, it's not great. We have sold a couple of players which aren't really too much to note. The one that probably is noteworthy is the fact that Manuel Akanji's gone to Juventus. He wanted game time. I wasn't going to be able to give it to him. He's not quite up to the standard that we needed. But we made £14 million on him after he played 16 games for us, only one this season. So there you go. That kind of makes sense. We've also sold a few of the other players. So Ty Sodge has gone to Plateau United for 30k. Josh Adams to Rangers for 40k. They went for solo prices purely because they'd already signed a contract with them for the end of the season. So I thought we might as well sell them. Not going to be any good to us now. Alfie Harrison's gone to Brighton for 400k. Heskey has gone to West Brom for 53, and Isaac Smith to Bournemouth for 400. Again, they're never going to get into the first team. Getting a bit of money for him, nothing wrong with that. And to be honest, we'll probably do the same with Jemai Simpson-Pusey for 45k. Sure, we'll take that. 4 weeks out. 4 weeks out for hamstring for Jack Grealish. That's not ideal. But should be fine. Pulled back muscle. Okay, a week and a bit. That's fine. And a twisted knee for João Cancelo. That's all right as well. We should be able to cope for the meantime anyway. We've got Everton, Blackpool, then Arsenal, Lazio, Tottenham. That's going to be a big 3 games coming up. But we'll come back probably for the second leg of the Champions League game, I think. And hopefully go through to the next round, which I think is the quarterfinals, actually, thinking about it. So that'd be good if we can get there. But with that, we'll leave it there for today. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course, stick around because we've got lots to come when the full game is released. See you then.